If you've ever looked out the window during a road trip and seen a vast stretch of empty land, you might have thought, it's just dirt, nothing special. But what if I told you that same dirt could be the foundation of real passive income? What if that land you just drove past could be generating hundreds or even thousands of dollars every single month? The truth is, vacant land is one of the most underrated assets in real estate. It's quiet, it's simple, and most importantly, it has potential. The kind of potential that doesn't require tenants, property repairs, or even a building on it to start earning. Today, we're diving deep into how you can take a forgotten piece of land and turn it into a reliable source of monthly income. It all begins with one critical decision: picking the right location. Now, you might think buying cheap land in the middle of nowhere sounds like a good deal, but cheap doesn't always equal opportunity. Location matters a lot. The best land investments are found in areas that are showing signs of growth. Start by looking at cities and towns that are expanding outward. Urban sprawl is a real thing. People are constantly moving away from crowded city centers and looking for affordable housing, new job opportunities, and open space. This shift creates pockets of potential at the edges of urban areas. You'll want to identify land near highways or major transportation routes, because access equals value. A plot that's 10 minutes from a growing town and right off the interstate could be far more profitable than something isolated in a rural area. Also consider areas where new schools, factories, or shopping centers are being planned. These are all signals of future demand. Don't just rely on guesswork. Research local development plans, population trends, and infrastructure projects. If a new highway is being built or if a city's population has been steadily climbing, those are green lights for opportunity. That land might not look like much now, but if it's in the path of progress, its value can rise quickly. Once you've found a promising plot, your next step is zoning and permits. Think of zoning as the rule book for your land. Every city or county has laws that define what each piece of land can be used for, and you need to know exactly what's allowed before you make your move. Is it zoned residential? That means you could build houses or lease it to mobile homeowners. Is it zoned commercial? That could allow for retail shops, small offices, or even parking lots. If it's agricultural, you might lease it to farmers or grow crops yourself. But it's not just about what you can do, it's also about what you can't. Buying land without understanding its zoning is like buying a car without knowing if it runs. And here's the thing, zoning can be complex. Some areas have mixed-use zoning, where both commercial and residential development is allowed. Others might have restrictions that limit your options completely. That's why it's crucial to speak directly with local zoning officials or the planning department. They can give you not only the current zoning information, but also insights on what the future may hold. For example, if the city plans to rezone agricultural land into residential due to demand for housing, getting in early could give you a massive advantage. In some cases, if your intended use isn't allowed under the current zoning, you might be able to apply for a zoning variance or petition to rezone the land. It's not guaranteed, but with a strong case and proper paperwork, it's absolutely possible. Zoning and location together create the foundation of your land investment strategy. Once those two are aligned, meaning you found land in a growth zone and it's legally permitted for the use you have in mind, you've already eliminated 90% of the risk. Most people lose money in land deals not because the land is bad, but because they skip these two steps. They either buy in the wrong place or assume they can use the land in ways the law won't allow. But you're not going to make that mistake. With the right location and the right zoning, you're now positioned to move into the next exciting phase, turning that raw land into a monthly income stream. And that's exactly what we'll cover in the next segment. Now that you've secured land in the right location and made sure it's zoned for the type of use you have in mind, it's time for the fun part, monetization. This is where we move from owning dirt to building dollars. A piece of land on its own doesn't generate income. But with a smart strategy, even a modest plot can start working for you every single month. The key here is understanding your options, aligning them with your land's location and zoning, and choosing the approach that requires the least maintenance while bringing in consistent returns. Let's start with one of the simplest and most traditional strategies, renting your land to farmers. If your land is zoned agricultural or located in a rural or semi-rural area, this could be a goldmine. Farmers often need extra space for planting, grazing, or storing equipment. You don't need to do the work yourself. Just lease it out and let someone else put it to use. It's passive income in its purest form. You collect monthly or seasonal payments, and the farmer handles everything else. It might not sound flashy, but this approach works. And in the right areas, it's in high demand. Next, let's talk about the rise of mobile homes and RV living. In recent years, more people are embracing minimalism and alternative lifestyles, choosing to live on the road or in small, affordable homes. If your land is near a highway, national park, or any kind of tourist attraction, turning it into an RV campground or leasing spots for mobile homes can be incredibly lucrative. The setup costs are lower than building traditional homes, and once the infrastructure is in place, things like septic, water, and electricity hookups, you can charge daily, weekly, or monthly rental fees. These kinds of spaces can stay booked year-round, especially in areas with warm weather or beautiful natural scenery. Even just a few RV hookups can turn into a solid monthly income stream with minimal upkeep. Another often overlooked income source? Timber and mineral rights. If your land is wooded, those trees might be worth money. Timber companies will sometimes pay you for the right to harvest lumber from your land. And depending on the type of trees and market demand, that payout can be substantial. Similarly, if the land has access to sand, gravel, or even minerals, you may be able to lease those extraction rights to companies that need those raw materials. You still own the land, they just pay you to use what's under the surface. Then there are billboards and cell towers. These aren't suitable for every piece of land, but if yours sits near a busy road or highway, advertisers may be interested. Leasing space for a billboard is one of the most passive income streams available in real estate. You don't need to manage anything. Once it's up, the advertiser maintains the structure and you collect checks. The same goes for telecom companies. As mobile networks expand, they constantly need new sites for cell towers. If your land is in the right spot, you could secure a long-term lease with a company that pays you month after month, often for decades. But perhaps one of the most powerful land income strategies, and one that many investors overlook, is seller financing. This is where you sell your land, but instead of getting paid all at once, you allow the buyer to pay you in installments. Usually over several years, you essentially become the bank. The buyer makes monthly payments, and you earn steady, predictable income without doing any ongoing work. There are no tenants, no toilets, and no property maintenance. If the buyer misses payments, you typically have the right to reclaim the land and resell it, often for even more. Seller financing is a win-win. Buyers who might not qualify for a bank loan get a chance to own land. And you earn passive income with almost zero involvement. It's one of the smartest ways to create long-term wealth from land. And here's the truth. Land is quiet. It doesn't call you in the middle of the night. It doesn't need repairs. It doesn't wear down over time. It just sits there, holding its value, waiting for you to tap into its potential. People often chase after the next big investment. Stocks, cryptocurrencies, rental homes. But land? Land doesn't change. It's patient, it's stable, and when used wisely, it can become one of the loudest generators of wealth in your portfolio. So, the next time you pass a vacant lot or scroll past a land listing online, don't just dismiss it as empty space. Think of it as a blank canvas, a quiet, powerful opportunity. Because with the right knowledge, strategy, and mindset, you can turn that piece of dirt into a dependable monthly income source. And you'll never look at land the same way again.